All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
You gave me your loving, and I fell from grace.
And welcome aboard, and boom. It's unbelievable. We're basically out here clubbing tonight. Friday night, hanging. Me, Rexy Poo. Yeah. Oh. I mean, basically it's club night. Basically freaking club night up in Copperhead Road podcast. Little out of nowhere. Friday night hang. It's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? People want to call, you want to make a few claims, not a problem. We don't even have to debate the claim, but just I'd like to hear maybe your explanation on some of your claims. That's what we do here. And then maybe if you wanted us to push back, we will. Charlie just started doing the opening as we speak, my friend. Welcome aboard, Charles. I'm your boy Footer. That's my man Rex. Got Jen behind the plexi.
What's up, money makers?
And we're ready to rock and roll. What up, Rexy Poo?
June 3rd, 1967. We're coming up on the 50th year anniversary of that date. And I know you know what the date is, but are you planning on anything special for next year for the 50th anniversary?
50th anniversary of what? I really don't know. Don't embarrass me in front of everybody. Why do you want to humiliate me?
Oh, well, it's the day that Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge.
Who the fuck is that? What are you talking? Are you having a stroke?
No.
What are you talking about, you lunatic?
Well, Billy Joe McAllister is the fictional man that's enshrined in the famous Bobby Gentry song from 1970.
Okay. Are you sure you're not having a stroke? I'm not locked in. Again, maybe look. I'm gonna say maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Okay, well let me sweeten the pot. He also threw a rag doll off of Choctaw Ridge. Does that help?
I feel sick right now. I feel sick to my stomach. I don't know what's happening. And honestly, I got a new batch. And right across my hey, good night, everybody. No, so I'm dabbling in a little banana pancake strain. Is that nuts? Yeah. So I'm a little. I don't know if I'm fucking hallucinating or you're talking shit. What are you saying to me?
I'm saying accurate things. I'm just saying that next year is the 50th anniversary, and we should just take heed of a monumental occasion.
But how is that have anything to do with me in any way?
Well, again, you're closer to the Okefenokee Swamp. So I would assume that there's got to be some.
I'm gonna Okefenokee Swamp you.
I'm not sure what that.
Good, good, because now you know how I feel. What is this? How is this relevant to us?
Well, it's relevant to the fucking McAllister family for sure. He didn't live, Footer.
I'm gonna pull up Charlie because we got to change the fucking flow of this. I don't know what's happening. Did you see a jury in Minnesota found a lady guilty of using a racial slur? Not sure what the original charge was, but the judge should have nullified the verdict under the First Amendment rights. Of course. Yeah, maybe I don't know, Jen, if you want to peek at that, or Rex, if you want to peek at that as you're chatting.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's a story about the woman who was in the playground, and there was a black individual kid who was rifling through her purse and was stealing stuff. About a year ago, I guess, and used the N-word on the kid a couple of times, and then an illegal who was oddly enough was filming the whole thing, who had also had a run-in with the police with some child stuff, was videotaping it, and he's like, "Do you think it's okay to be calling a kid a?" And She's like, yeah, I don't care. He was freaking going through my purse. So,
Yeah, but yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. And I think like yeah, and the kid was 1,000% wrong, and so was the lady was wrong to start dropping N-bombs on a kid. You know what I mean? Just, I mean, look, you're a fucking adult. You know what I mean? Again, I get it. Any adult, listen, if it was an adult doing it, I'd pull out a bat and fucking crack him in the fucking skull and break his fucking teeth. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with it. But again, whatever. I don't have to have
It was Shiloh Hendricks. Was
that was her name, Shiloh Hendricks.
Yeah. And again,
I have zero problem with what she did, and she'll end up winning an appeal. But either way, that's ridiculous.
Legally, that's not my issue. My issue is she's a piece of shit. If she doesn't know better or have the way. Let me ask you this, Rex, would you do that?
Yeah.
You'd call him a little N-word.
If he was going through my stuff that belonged to my kid, absolutely right, I would.
Why?
Why not? Who the fuck cares? I can say what the hell I want.
One end.
I understand that, but why would you do that? Like what?
Rage, anger, indifference to the stupid.
And you can't like you don't have the willpower to not do it.
I certainly could if I wanted to, but I find
but
no
you wanted to do that.
I find no reason to hold back.
And the reason for doing it specifically that is why?
Because
like you want to inflict the most hurt you can verbally to this child?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And rage and anger and indifference, all that kind of stuff is all there. And again, I just don't care. Like if obviously the kid's bound for prison anyway, if he's already doing that at a young age. And I believe the kid was also
bit of a fucking leap, but okay.
Okay, yeah. Saying a man of that or a kid of that distinction is already going.
Hold on. Another thing too is what age are we talking about? What age are we talking about?
9, I think.
Yeah, again, then that's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like a 3-year-old.
No, it's ridiculous. Again, if it's a young adult. Again, not that I'm 100% okay with it, but you know what I mean. I kind of get it, but I don't get it in any way for a child to take verbal abuse for anybody for rummaging through your purse or your stuff. Sorry, a kid. Again, you never did anything wrong when you were a child. Not even. But hold on, if you did, and then I
have a hard time.
Broke a law, stole something, maybe broke a window, whatever.
I certainly never broke a window, but I would certainly never go into somebody's personal property,
granted,
purse,
perfect,
and steal something in broad daylight.
No problem. No, okay, I heard you out clear. Now, let me ask the question again. Have you ever done anything wrong as a child, like anything at all?
Of course, I have, but
maybe not. Like, let's make it a little more aggressive, like broken, whatever, like something not just like, oh, I lied to my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
have you ever done something?
Well, let's just do something that say I walked into a store and I stole a piece of candy bar off the shelf. Is that sort of equivalent?
That's fine with me. If I just don't want to make accusations on you. So especially something that's that heinous. But so my point is, if you did something like that, and I looked at you and I said to myself, "Wow, he's on his way to jail regardless." Like, whatever, however you phrased it, that would be absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Again, bad kid. Yep. You know what I mean? No, not
again.
You,
if you're playing the statistics, you wouldn't be that far off from making that accusation.
Yeah, but I don't think in the moment I don't walk around playing statistics.
I start with
human being adult to a child.
But my mom and dad wouldn't have a problem with the shop owner if he's like, "Get out of here, you fat little fucker." You wouldn't have that problem because I did something wrong. Like,
okay, so you're just saying as far as the word goes, like could have called them anything else.
So
like,
if you would have said,
meaning you're equating the fat motherfucker to nigger.
Well, what if she said, "I hope you die, you scumbag little shitbag"?
Yeah, wait, first of all, I just want to make sure, because I was going to say to you, if you're equating it to the same, I can 100% understand what you mean. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm actually was taking the opposite of what you just thought. I wanted to know if you equated the same, like the fat fuck thing when you said that. I was like, were you equating that to the N-word, right? And if you were, I'm fine. Yeah, and I'm fine with that, and I can understand if you're valuing it the same, exactly. Then why you feel like that it's fine, and I can see 100%. I understand.
Even society, the power that we give that word is fucking ridiculous.
Again, now taking that take right there, I understand 100%.
Right.
And I mean that truly. Like giving it the same, if you give it the same value, whether I agree with that or not, I 100% agree with you. Then I can see where you can go, oh, yep, I would do that. And then making it like even tagging on like the actual giving the word too much power, I can 1,000% agree with you there. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just being fair to the conversation.
Well, and again, as far as this situation goes, my guess, and I think that she's even said so much, is that it's a lot of built up hostility because of all of the Somalis that have completely flooded her hometown and is ruining her town. So again, it's not an excuse if you need one for this, but I assume that this probably is something that's been a long time coming. Let me ask you,
but I don't think she was doing it again. Sorry.
I was going to say, you're in this situation. What would your reaction be? I guess
you want my honest reaction?
I do.
I would probably go to jail because I would probably go over and grab the kid, like and not like hurt him, but I would probably react and go over and grab him and be like, right. and like kind of push him away and be like, "Excuse me, the fuck are you doing? Where are your parents?
You little
probably, oh. Yeah, you little no, but that's exactly what I think I would do. Listen, that subjectively may be worse.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I bet it is. No, it would be because I would go to jail and the lady that dropped the N-bomb probably isn't. You know what I'm saying? Legally speaking. Okay. But my position prior, and I still stick with, the woman's a piece of shit because she can't, as an adult, she can't control herself enough her rage enough to lash out like that at a kid. You know what I'm saying? And she may have listened to how I think I would have reacted, and she'd probably say the same thing. How dare this fucker, this white psycho, grab this little black kid? You know my point? I get it.
Actually, I heard her justify her position. She would have been like, "Damn, I wish I would have thought of that."
Yeah.
While calling him the N-word.
Yeah. But that's my whole like logic and reason behind my opinion on that. I really believe she should have been able to. Again, can she do it? Sure can, without a doubt. Should there be repercussions for her doing it? Only me, a nobody, telling her I think she was wrong for doing it and she's a piece of shit. You know my point? So and again, the only reason why I'm a lot more understanding now as far as your position, as harsh as it may sound. And again, I might be wrong, but I'm justifying it in my heart that this is what, is because A, how you value the word, B, how like a freedom of speech thing. You know what I mean? So I get all of them. You know what I mean? So if and again, I'm not saying that you're sitting there waving a flag saying, yes, I would do it to take a stand. Mm-hmm. But if that was part of it, I can also understand it. Do I agree? No. But again, I'm pushing a little black kid around the park. So what do I know? I'm being honest. That's all.
Yeah. And the fact is, unfortunately, like I've said so many times, is that, things are so beyond the line that the expectation of nuance and grace is kind of out the window, I think.
Right. But you want to amp it up a little bit with the same frame of mind. The guy that I don't know if this is going to be fair or not, but the neighbor that lets his dog shit on your lawn every day, you've warned them. The dog comes over, you pull out your fucking pistol, you shoot the dog.
Yeah, I would never do that. I may shoot the owner, but I would never shoot the dog.
and I was going to say owner first, but I knew your soft spot for animals. I figured I'd really try to to really try to like almost a dog, no pun intended, dog walk myself into having to feel empathy for the animal. I pulled the human aspect out, but I'll put the human in there though. My point is, would you shoot them?
No, but that's again. I would just continually call the police until something happened. But
okay, I just wanted to throw that out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't like that. I'm on my business. What? Never mind. It was about the whole nuance thing. I'm not a big fan of that phrase because it's so open ended that it's like, oh, okay, great. Like it really is the cat holding on, like hang in there, but intellectually, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would love to, and we'll even throw the word out and just say grace. I would love to live in a society where you had the luxury of grace. And again, my community, my little area here, I have plenty of opportunities for grace.
There you go. But that's my point. So there it is, though. You do have the opportunity for it.
Right.
Where you set your limits is on you, but let's not. You can't chalk it up to grace and nuance. It is what it is. You're setting a perimeter of how you want to show people grace and empathy. That's just what it is. It's not a nuanced thing.
But your situation and your well, I'll just say your situation does cage it differently. You know what I mean? Like, again, like I've said a lot of times about, you know, right now we have the luxury of a lot of mental disorder because there are so many padded walls around these people that, you know, hypothetically,
yes, that's what we're talking about.
You know, that you have the grace of being homeless or being crazy or having all these weird mental problems. However, if your situation were to change, like if we were being invaded by another country or if you were on a desert island and you had to survive, you don't have that luxury, and automatically a lot of those things would go away because you don't have the pleasure of having that ability to do that.
Yeah. You're gonna kind of hate me. Oh, hey, my favorite chatter listener, my man, my brother. That's you ever look at baggers, hashtag baggers. It's so, well, I don't know if you can do that. Be careful. I don't know. I think that's what it is. But they have like these little videos about like Harley guys. And it's like everything's, hey brother, what's up, brother? Hey, you see that, brother? Anyway, what's up?
If I typed in baggers in my phone, it would autocorrect to something I can't look up.
Yeah, that's what I said. Be careful. I don't. Maybe it's just on my YouTube shorts, but yes, we were talking about that. Up.
He says, in my opinion, that's what IMO means. Is it means in my opinion. The cameraman shouldn't have provoked a response, a lack of patience on her part, and 1A territory. And again, even if you're going to take the law out of it, I have no problem with anything that you did. Footer feels different, and that's fine.
Yeah, again, I if you didn't hear my whole spiel on it, go back. I kind of made it a two-parter. You know what I'm saying? I gave my opinion when Rex gave his. I tried to see and put myself where he was thinking about, where he comes from, and I do understand where he's coming from 100%. Because when he first said it, I did feel weird, and maybe I still should, but I don't.
Oh, they screw up your name, so you had to change something up. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, the name Dial-Up would have been good. You probably could have sold that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's the one that's squatting your Dial-Up name, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You tried. Yeah, never mind. I was going to do a whole bit on it. Never mind. Would have been funny anyway. Good night, everybody.
So, the other morning, I was up in the gym and I was listening to NPR, and they were talking about
you crazy man. Remember the days you used to be like, yeah, I just got home at 3 a.m. I was snorting crank off my girlfriend's ass. And now you're like, yeah, I was doing calisthenics. I said, listen to NPR. Oh, tell me more.
And again, I do enjoy it because again, I like to have some kind of balance or whatever. But they do this little flashback in history, and they were talking about the liberation of South Sudan from the Sudanese government or whatever. And again, they were interviewing a couple of different people from South Sudan. And again, I don't know if it was an anniversary of things or whatever. But again, I'm listening to them, and I guess they talk English in South Sudan. But if you ever, see these people in real life, they're typically extremely dark, and a lot of them have like the yellow eyes. You know what I mean? Again, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of a look or whatever.
Yes.
So, anyway, so they ended the thing with playing their national anthem, right? And like, I matter of fact, I even did a little bit of research on it, because it's just not, it's not a good national anthem. It's terrible. But I'm like,
wait, what makes it?
Oh, you're gonna find out. I have.
Okay.
I have it's like it sounds like mentally handicapped elementary schools wrote it and then performed it. It really is bad.
God.
So
because I never thought about anything like that. Like, what would make a national anthem bad and or good? You know what I'm saying?
Of course, and in my racist head, I'm like, well, maybe it's just Africa, whatever. So like I pulled up, I don't know, 10, 15 different national anthems from countries in Africa. Damn it, they were good. I mean,
look, I tapped my toe to Ghana. It was amazing.
I mean,
Ghana with the window. Good night, everybody.
Good quality. It really had a thing. But like, all right, so I did cut a short that we'll put up later for the South Sudanese national anthem. Now,
Okay.
You can listen.
I actually, Rex, real quick. I actually heard that they had an amazing Hyatt Regency in Sudan.
Really?
So I hear they got an amazing grilled cheese there. But what do I know?
Yeah, and so anyway, so here is a small clip of the beginning of their national anthem. Now, I had a hard time understanding the words, so I just put in the words that it sounded like.
Oh my God, I love that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, if you're South Sudanese, please stand up and put your hand over your heart and listen to your vaunted national anthem.
Oh God, we praise and glorify.
Of course, she picks the wrong one.
Because that one had a little bit of that one. They were on key. Had a little.
Yeah, we'll try that one. It's the one that has the words. I can't
It
read.
says South. No, it says South Sudan. Yep, that's it. That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, what are you doing?
God, we praise and glorify you for your grace on South Sudan, land of great abundance. Our home has united in peace and harmony. Oh, motherland, we rise, raising flag, with the guiding star, and sing songs of freedom with joy.
I love it. First of all, it's not that bad. Okay, it's not. All right, I don't hate it. I don't hate the melody. The kids again. I would have hired somebody, maybe with a little bit of a.
This is the official recording of the. It's not like a bunch of elementary school kids singing the song. This is the official from the actual government official national anthem.
Again, I think that they got a bunch of, like maybe the South Sudanese choir, you know what I'm saying, got together, and maybe, the middle school choir or something. But regardless, I think they should have manned it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Very little girlish. I think that, they're lacking like a monotone bass bottom, as if I may be so bold. Rex just perked up bottom. But so. But let me tell you something. I'm almost angry that you didn't let me play with you on that. I really am, because we could have had a lot of fun with that one.
Oh, you
Can we do that one? Can we do that more? Can we do that more often? Because that will make me laugh all the time.
Yeah,
can you play it again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, put it up again, please, Jen. The one that says South Sudanese MP4.
Yeah.
I have to hear that again.
I can't see. I have to take your word for it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yep.
Oh God, we praise and glorify you for your
Greece.
grace and South Sudan, land of great abundance, a
Full
full
house united in peace and harmony. Okay.
Oh, motherland, we rise, raising flag with the
Holla holla rice raisin.
and sing songs of freedom, rejoice.
Rejoice. Again, I'm a fan. I may move to the South Sudan.
This is why your album's not going to take off. Just so you know.
Again, you know, I you know what? I'll probably be fucking huge in South Sudan. You know?
Well, they're tall people there. I don't know how big you'd be.
I don't think they're just, they're like they're thin and slender.
Mm.
Yeah, dial-ups like laugh my ass off. Those captions are so far off. Exactly. That's the bit.
That's the fun.
That's the fun of all this.
Yeah. Now again, that's I believe it was like 48 seconds of like a 6-minute national anthem.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh
know,
my God, we could have had fun with that for a lot longer. We should try to make it up now.
Yeah, we'll Grease, no grace. Well, again, how fun is that? Seriously, when you get off stage at the Improv dial-up, can you do me a favor and realize that we're trying to do funny stuff, not just? And it was funny because, like, again, I use I don't know, whatever the hell thing it is or whatever to generate clips or generate the captions.
Yeah.
And it couldn't pick up the words. Like I'm like, well, maybe if I ran it, you know, just the audio or whatever. So I ran just the audio. It could not distinguish the words because the music was so loud.
And you might have been hitting even more gems if it did. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not doing no work. It could have just been funny because it was so horribly done. By the way, dial up, do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe if you can. Anybody else that's checking in, hit the like and the subscribe button, please.
I assume that he is already subscribed, but if you're not,
he said he was just doom scrolling before, so that's how he found this. I believe.
Oh, but we see.
Anyway, yeah. And I don't know. Sunday mornings though we're packed. So you'll have a lot of chatter back and forth and
Chatterback.
Yeah, Chowderback. That was Rex's nickname in New England area.
I was popular with the boy. You know,
it's funny how the New England area clicked in after the chat and the Chowder in New England went back.
Did you? I don't know if you've seen any of Mike Lindell lately, but he's really lost his fucking mind. I don't have a clip or anything like that, but I was watching. He's running for governor of Minnesota or whatever, and
hasn't he been doing that for like 30 years? Seriously?
Yeah, I think he might be. But like he's really fucking lost his path or whatever because he's you know the woman has kind of simply asked him about, well, you know, like what are your thoughts on illegal immigration, and you know, he goes into whole this thing. Well, you know, if it 90 days and if you pay cash, you can do this. But like, and Crowder had pointed out, it sounds like he's trying to cover up for shit that he's making in his Minnesota pillows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's head into your factory. Well, they can be there if they're only significantly, working on pillows. You know, any, you know, seamstresses. All time.
And it is funny because, like, you know how, like, if you do like a Jesse Ventura, it sounds like Michael fucking what's his face from The Pillow Guy.
Mike
Lindell, yeah. It's the same fucking Minnesota, really raspy voice. That was gravelly and raspy put together.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I and Charlie said, you know, it was his first time running, but for some reason, I feel like he's been involved in politics or you know, a hang around for a long time. He was shilling his pillows with like the American flag on it. You know, a real patriot, if I may be so bold.
Yeah, and again,
also big time crackhead.
I don't know. I don't believe he still is.
No. I'm sorry. Did that
or like if you're a Marine, like you're always a Marine. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Crackhead here, sir. One's a crackhead, always a crackhead. Fuck, someone's gonna clip that. Great. Good thing I did in my gravelly Minnesota voice.
It's the same voice. Charlie says, yeah, he's not registered in Minneapolis, so don't even know if he can run. Well, it would be Minnesota, right? Because he's running for governor, so it isn't. I mean, as far as like he's not registered in Minnesota, you mean?
No, he's not with a party, I believe, is what he means.
A party? He's not in a party up there?
No, he's not with my collarbone. My daughter Angel. Okay, I've got it now.
It's it's funny how collarbone is like the North Star of the whole thing, because once you
It's
say
the way you
collarbone,
make things go. No, you get a couple of those colored fellas over there, okay? They're
Yeah.
long thigh bone. They got a long femur. Makes them run quicker.
and steal from purses.
The young ones are a bit rambunctious. You got to get them when they're early. Right away, you should have got that kid. Drop an N-bomb on him. Really wake him up. It's okay. I could be pro dropping the N-bomb in character.
Well, it's fine. You're not talking about yourself. Again,
No.
mine always ends up going Chicago. It doesn't actually make it up to the great land of the lakes.
A lot of snow.
It does. They get a lot of snow up there. They just stay in their little homes and
They're
do
basically Canadians.
Yeah, a little Canucky. Is that a word? Is that Canucky a word?
Yeah, I can't do the accent anymore though. Yeah.
Right.
And the truth, enough of Canada. I've had it up to fucking top of the map with them. I look, they're probably the nicest people in the world, but when they start getting anti-American, I'll tell you, they got to slow their fucking roll. I don't like a Canadian tough guy. I don't. Don't be offended, dial up. I apologize.
Don't get nervous.
Hey,
I'm
get nervous.
I'm actually like I've just had it with like all of these fucking scumbag countries and little groups of people just throwing shade on us, like and sleeping on us. Canada, the fucking Houthis being like, we're gonna close down the Red Sea. Again, just we need to yard stomp these fucking people.
Well, again, I just that's why I told you I'm at the point right now where I either want it done and however it is, figure out how we're adjusting, or enough is enough. End this thing now and take care of every threat you need to take care of. I've had it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know what to do anymore. We're at a point right now where is it going to be worse to go head in, or is it going to be worse to pull back? Pick the lesser of two evils and fucking do it. Because and guess what? I'll even be more wishy-washy and hypocritical. I don't even know which is the right one to do. How's that grab you? So enough. I don't know what to fucking say with that shit anymore. I don't.
Yeah, I've reached the end of my grace on Iran for sure. And Trump has even said himself, he's like, you can't negotiate with these people because they're always going to back out of it. Okay, well, you know that. So go in, bomb all of the bridges, all of the electrical power plants, and then have a discussion with them, because this back and forth shit is so fucking annoying.
Yep, Charlie agrees with me and you. I mean, and I don't even think like, how is that not the take on it already? You know what I mean? And guess what? And the people that hate Trump are going to say it's his fault. The people that hate Israel are going to say it's their fault. Nobody, unfortunately, in America, and this is the shame of it, will blame Iran in any way, which is unbelievable to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's true, right? It's either Trump's fault, and again, maybe it is. It's either Israel's fault, maybe it is Iran's fault. No, they're just trying to mind their own business over there.
And the fact is like, and you know it because we've seen it countless times again. If we just go max and actually do what we need to do, like we did in the first Iraq, it's over in a matter of days. There isn't a any kind of a decision to be made. And again, I don't know if you know this, but I'm not in any of the Pentagon meetings, so I don't really know what their plan is. But the fact that they can't just end this, and they can't see the urgency to do so. Like I had said, like, early on, 30, 60 days, whatever it was. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, well, August, you got to remember, I even said at the beginning of August, you've got to have everything set up for midterms, because the American voting public does have a short-term memory, but you're getting too close now to where it's definitely going to wreak havoc in the midterms. And the fact is that if you lose the midterms, everybody in the administration is getting impeached. And they're already talking about the International Criminal Court, making veiled threats on arresting a lot of these people after the term's over.
I saw that.
You need to get things done for sure.
Yeah, and adding to it, like I can't handle doing anything for anybody else, including Israel. You know what I'm saying? So as much percentage of us being in there because of Israel, whether it's 99.9 or 3%, I don't like it and I don't want it. It's not being mean to Israel. It's not being mean to any of our allies. We should have allies. You know what I mean? But not in any way losing soldiers or putting our country in a divide. Right. That we should never be in a divide about someone else's best interests. So,
and I also think it's absolutely outrageous cutting a nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia. I agree. Didn't we do that in 1950 with Iran? I mean, that's how the whole ball started to roll.
I can almost do if we set up some sort of nukes, it's under our control. You know what I'm saying? Like they're there within the guise of protecting Saudi Arabia, but it's really just a stronghold for our nukes in that region. Right?
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is like it's not for protection, because they will never use them.
No, but we can say, but like that's how we can justify us putting them there. You know what I mean?
I know the actual, I know the justification. I understand what you're saying. Like I just it's not that, because again, like they've there are 2, maybe 3 countries that would use them. North Korea definitely would use them. Iran would definitely use them. I don't think China and Russia would ever do it. Pakistan, maybe, you know what I mean? Because they're kind of crazy. But I don't think any of the major economies in the world would ever think about using them, because again, it's mutual self-destruction across the board.
Yeah, and Japan, dial up to Japan is our actual closest ally, I've heard. You know what? After you've been nuked by us, you become pretty subservient, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and
read this one, Rexy, please.
People forget about 79 and what happened in the mood of the citizens at the time. I actually went to do my sign up for civil service as required, and luckily Reagan was appointed and Iran released. Is that an actual picture of you, Charlie? Because you may want to get that looked at.
Yeah.
If that is indeed the case.
You must have a lot of trouble with hats.
The opposite of trouble that you have, actually.
Oh my God. Smallest head in the world I have.
All I know is we couldn't defeat the tribal inbreeds in Afghanistan. How are we going to defeat the ancient civilization? Well, again, it's slightly different.
I think the terrain has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, sure. It does. And Iran is definitely a lot more of a modern fight. And in Afghanistan was never a international threat. Iran is, and we could neutralize that threat, which is the only thing we should be worried about is getting rid of anything that could actually hurt us. Afghanistan was just a fucking debacle from beginning to end.
Especially end.
And it has been it was the same thing for Russia. And
yeah. I Yeah, no, you're when the Mujahideen, however you say it, and
Delicious.
that whole thing, the early Bin Laden, that whole. I read a book. I've looked it up and I'm not remembering the name of it, but it was this Jewish
It was
about the Mujahideen. Yeah,
it was
but
Mujahideen is what the name of the book was.
no, it wasn't. It was about a fucking Jewish guy that converted to Islam and started working in the States right around that time and didn't realize like how he was contributing, and he was like the biggest terrorist and he didn't even fucking realize it for a while.
Oh.
And then when he did, it was like too late. Funneling money. He was like the money.
Yeah.
You know?
One other thing I did want to bring up, and I've actually had it in media assets for a while. Did you know that? And I believe I forgot who the original writer of it was, but do you know that they're actually writing a new book and possibly a new movie about the Godfather series? Did you hear about that?
No, I did not. But I've been watching a lot of clips of Godfather and Goodfellas and things. They just came up with my algorithm, so I've been watching it. Yeah, good stuff.
But the whole thing is actually based around Michael's sister, I believe.
Really? Taylor Shire or whatever.
Yeah, Talia Shire, I think.
Yeah, Tyler.
Can you bring up that media asset there, and then we'll take a look. You're gonna have to make my screen big or whatever. The Godfather could return with new Connie. That's who it is, Connie. Book, but Francis Ford Coppola is unlikely to direct because he's fucking 190 years old. Connie would be the third Godfather book approved by the Puzzio, yeah, the Puzzio family. No, Puzo, yeah. Estate, and the first written by a woman, so it's going to be good, you know. Trigiani, whose books include The Shoemaker's Wife, Lucia.
Yeah, she'll have an affair with a woman and become a lesbian.
Yeah.
They're really gonna fucking woke this up, aren't they?
It definitely looks that way. And in a side note, I'm so glad that fucking Apollonia died in that fucking Italy. Well, again, she looks like a fucking retard running around in the goddamn car or whatever.
Well, she was like 15, fucking creepy guinea.
Yeah.
I meant me.
Was reportedly sought out by the estate after writing about how little attention that had been given to the woman of the Corleone family. The author own framing pointedly direct. Connie is a novel about how a woman works to forge her own way in a world already decided who she is and who she's about.
Yeah, that's been done. Her character did that in Rocky. Seriously.
Yeah.
No, for real.
No, I know.
Like and let me explain something. Like, even she was an idiot in The Godfather. What are they going to do? Like, what? Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. And look, I'm all for letting a lady be the starring role, be the hero. Go get him. Go get her, Tigress. With that being said, please don't mess with the fucking Godfather. It's like when fucking somebody's like, "Oh, I'm having chicken cutlets tonight." I'm like, "Oh my God, thank you. Yes, of course I'm coming over." I come over, like they're like crunching up fucking cornflakes. No, we like to fry it up. I'm like, what? Why would you fuck with something like that?
They're using pork.
You know what I mean?
On a keto diet.
Yeah, whatever. But like, it makes me fucking nuts. Like, don't fuck with good things for any cause. And I have daughters. Believe me. I want them to feel empowered, not with a Godfather.
Well, I mean, look at like even what Victoria Gotti did with the fucking kids of her family. Like,
right.
Just again, stop with the fucking idea that women should be in charge of things. Like, it's just so fucking aggravating. It really is. I know you don't go that far, but I do.
No, well, no, I don't go that far. Meaning, like, but where I will, you can pull that back up in a minute. I'll read it in a minute. But what I will say though is, not mob families, please. That's all I'm asking. Again, don't bread my fucking chicken cutlets in cornflakes. Don't have, don't have the women the head of the mob. Like Tony Soprano, we get it. Like the mother, Olivia, well, she was the head of it. Yeah, what happened to her? Yeah. All right, pull that back up, Jen. Sorry.
You guys seem like you are capable of considering ideas. How far back do we track the regional strife? Can we track it to the 1940s terrorism? I think we kind of did, yeah.
In what?
As far as the U.S. involvement in the nuclear system is what I consider the most relevant.
Okay.
Can we just let the schizophrenics fight on their own 8 front wars? Can we not spend 10 more trillion for Babylon? And again, I've pointed it out, and I think I even pointed it out to Bob Zilla or whatever. Like I don't. It's not. We're not spending money. We're just apportioning it to different things or whatever, because it definitely all stays here. So like I don't even care.
Can you bring that up though, Rex? Because this makes me nuts. Iran hates us because we support actual terrorists. To be honest with you, like that kind of makes me like, unless you can come up and kind of clean that up a little bit, it does something that I mentioned earlier in the show, and that really bothers me. I don't like when anybody doesn't put some sort of onus on Iran and the imams and the fucking Ayatollah and all of these people in religion in Islam. That is the fucking problem. What do we just forget about that? We forget about that? Come on. That's what annoys me, Dial Up, though. And again, not specifically for you, but I just made the point how it makes me nuts how we don't own that nobody wants to own anything. It's always bad America, bad Jews. We get it. Like, but again, you're gonna tell me Iran isn't have any look, Islam is the fucking problem.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yep.
I'm not an Islamophobe. I'm not frightened of Islam. I've read the Quran. I've read the Hadiths. I know the religion. They are the problem in the region. Okay. Are the Jews a problem as well? Yep. But let's not whitewash.
Yeah, and I mean, again, and if you were in the position of being Israel, what would you do different, or what would you like to see done differently? My guess is you probably would say that they're doing exactly what they need to do to survive.
Again, except for the international and geopolitical games that I think that they play with controlling money and industries, all of this societal thing, I'm not okay with. You know what I'm saying? But if I just broke it down to a country with the right to defend themselves and eliminate and or control threats around them, I have to allow Israel to do that.
Well, again, my thing is you don't have a problem with what they do because we do it and it's our benefit and we're okay with it. So it's like
which part?
Controlling money, controlling industry, no, I'm saying America in general.
Okay, sorry, I was just curious.
That's exactly what we do on a much higher level. So again, I don't care what Israel does. It's only when they involve us that I actually have an issue, because again, they're fighting for their life, and I don't have a problem with them as long as it doesn't involve us. As soon as it involves us, they need to be smacked the fuck up.
Right, and that you're 100% right, Charlie. I'll bring it up quick again. Phobes, isms, and ists are just made up shit to try to control the speech. Exactly right, which is why I am so blatant hypocritical of Islam and critical of, not hypocritical, critical of Islam. Because I'm hypercritical, not hypocritical. Good night, everybody. But and I'll wear it on my sleeve because I've studied it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't hate Muslims at all. I hate their religion with a passion.
Where the fuck is Colonel and Vironix? Can you just go into Discord and tell them that we're fucking live and tell them to join us? Fucking Vironix been streaming for 9 goddamn hours. He can join our fucking show for a little bit.
Yeah, his eyes are probably watery. He's not going to be able to have fun.
Either way, and that is a
point. Explode.
In the descriptions of our show, our Discord is listed. Join it. It's a lot of fun in between shows.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's fun though.
Join the Discord. I agree. I want everybody joining the Discord. I want you to do it right now. Stop fooling around. Charlie, get in there. Dial Up, get in there.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to yell at you.
I don't think you are sorry, because that's just kind of.
No, you got me all Jewed up. You got me all riled up.
You're just rude in general. 1
minute I'm against the Jews. 1 minute I'm for the Jews. You're gonna make my head explode. I don't know what to do.
The fact that you're giving no fucking deference to the fucking McAllister family still pisses me off. It's been 75 years. Let them keep their land, but they need to stop assaulting everyone. Even CK said 10-7 was a false flag. And he brought up a lot of very interesting points that I still haven't seen a suitable answer for. Like, why it took so long to respond and those kind of things. Was it a false flag? I don't other than, again, it's hard to attribute malice to something that could just be absolute stupidity and laziness. But apart from the
but can it be though? You know what I mean? Because they're supposed to be so precise. Well, I guess so. Because again, if we allowed box cutters to take over our planes, yeah, you're right. It could have just been that caught with the pants down type of deal.
Yeah, again, I you know, with the technology and the way that Israel does work, I think that they probably could have put up a false flag that didn't decimate citizens of theirs if they wanted to. But again, I'm open to that suggestion. I would just like to see more evidence other than just a lack of response.
And how far are you going to push it? Like they allowed it so the response could happen? Would you go that far?
I think they're saying that they even sharpened the shovels. You know, but again, I don't know. But to be honest, like there to me, there's a lot more evidence of that being the case than of any. Well, I'm just saying there's a lot more evidence of that being the case than Tyler not being the shooter at Charlie Kirk's home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
The point of logic falls back on 9/11. Was that incompetence? Yeah, probably.
I mean, unless you think the entire planes were involved, then yeah, definitely incompetence. I think it was a plan that, again, you can go into conspiracies and things like that. But let's before we do, let's just bring it into the whole, just the micro of the planes were hijacked. Okay, like that, I don't think could have been manipulated. I think that was wherever the big plan came from and who was involved. That you guys, we can debate, or whoever can debate that. But as far as just the action of the hijacking and the planes hitting the towers, I don't think that could be manipulated unless unless all the pilots were involved, blah blah blah. And then you'd have to get them to want to give their lives up as well.
Yeah, but to be honest, like, and I guess, it did happen with the plane in Pennsylvania or whatever, but like, it is hard to believe that, your fear of a box cutter overrode your fear of flying a plane into a building. You know what I mean? Like, you're like,
yeah,
go into that building and for sure die or fight me with this box cutter. You know what I mean? Like, that part is always kind of like stuck in my head. Like, that doesn't seem right to me, especially because you have a whole fucking plane full of people that could.
Yeah. Well, let me put that a little bit into perspective. Okay. Yeah. If you go back to 2000, up until that point, I would have to, I don't know the exact number, but I would say if 95% of the times things like this occurred, it was okay, take us to XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Not that there was no casualties, but it wasn't this mass casualty type of thing. So I think it was almost the safe play of okay, well, let's just do what they say, and we'll get all the 250 souls on board, quote unquote, or whatever, safe. You know what I mean? Now in hindsight, it's a totally new ball game. So that's the only thing that I guess I would kind of try to put into perspective with your doubts of how could that have happened. You know what I mean? But that's the only other thing that I would be able to think of.
Yeah, and Dial-Up brought that up too. The passengers assumed that it was another basic ransom payday. Pardon? They wouldn't have known the goal, and that's true. And again, I still haven't seen. I don't know if there was ever, again, it would be hard to prove or whatever, but if it was actually the original pilots that flew it at the end, or if, the hijackers took over and did it.
Well, I mean, again, if we're going to go based on the evidence that I can remember at this time, the pilot, took flying lessons and things like that. So
dancing lessons.
She was the best piece of ass I've ever had, and I've had them all over the world. All right, we get it. I know you don't like it. I don't care.
Well, I kind of prompted it, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah. It really was some sort of like an audio cutting for you. So I don't think it was I think it was to hurt you, not to make me feel good. But anyway, the what was I saying? Sorry.
Worst airline ever, 9/11 Airlines. Is that a thing?
Good night, everybody. I mean, what do we do? Really?
I don't know. Is that a fucking thing?
Yeah. No, that's his. Like he's trying to.
I was gonna say, is would that even be? You ready for your good night, everybody? Is that even worse than Spirit? Good night, everybody. Hi, Snuffies. I'm glad you can
What's
join.
up, Snuffles? Hey, and join the. Hey, Snuffles, go join the Discord.
Yeah, for sure.
That crap happened in the 80s and 90s. People hijacking planes and demanding money. Yeah. Oh, all right. So then I see it's tough to see your tone. So do you mean that like it doesn't make sense because it was only 80s and 90s, but by the 2000s they were smashing planes into buildings? That I don't get.
You know, the thing is I was remembering that other plane that went down in Lockerbie, Scotland. Very hard to say Lockerbie without doing the Minnesota voice. Lockerbie.
Yeah. Wow. This is wow. This is interesting. Let me pull this up because I'm surprised that Charlie would say that. Yeah. I'm so sorry, but there is no way the Pentagon was a plane that hit him. Really? See, again, it's been a very long time since I've looked into things, but there was some pretty significant evidence that it was the plane, and there was a lot of quote unquote fake news about the parts, if I remember correctly, when I was kind of digging into it back then. But it's been so long, I can't say with certainty.
Right, and I mean, a lot of people that were on the plane are no longer alive. That hit the Pentagon, and people that worked in the around the area saw, what I mean? Like there would, again, it's one of those things where the conspiracy would take a lot of people that somehow still haven't blown the whistle on it.
But now I'll flip it just to throw things that I'm remembering now. I can throw one more at you. Why was there such horrible footage of it? It's the fucking Pentagon. How do they not have the perfect thing? Now the counter to that would be security reasons.
Right. That would be my guess.
Right. So again, this is what I'm talking about. I'm being very fair here, and this is actually what I task people to do when you call our show. Try to be like, think about both sides. Like in the beginning, when we were talking about the little kid dropping the N-bomb. Like at face value, what Rex was saying, I was horrified. Again, still don't like it, but my point is, I understand his way of thinking, and it makes sense that he feels that way. Again, I don't. But my point, and I think I that's what I task people to do. I think it's very, very good for you.
And something I just thought about too, like I believe the kid was also like a Somali refugee. You know what I mean?
And of course, drop it.
Well, my point is like the whole reason that the N-word is supposedly triggering is because of slave history. Somebody from Somalia doesn't have that, so like they can't. It's like if I were to call you
but I think we can both agree. I don't think that anybody thinks that her being arrested was nothing more than a politically correct. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy holding the camera and video and commentating the way he did. As I was told. I don't think for a second it was anything more than grandstanding and trying to push the point and villainize this woman. And again, I said for me, I think she should be villainized. Not in that way at all. I think the law should have nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Do we even know what she was actually convicted of?
I have no idea.
Again, it has to be some kind of.
She should be convicted of. She's a mean lady, and doesn't have self-control. Again, that's the way I feel like I can her penalty I would put on her. Yeah. I don't want her to go to jail. I don't want her to get beat up. I don't want her to, you know what I'm saying? If you disagree, you can call her mean lady.
Yeah, because I mean, it can't just be actually saying the word. It's got to be something because you directed it at the kid, obviously. Because I mean, even the guy fucking videotaping is saying the word ad nauseum. So.
Yeah. So I guess it would have to be. How are they even going to frame it though? Like a, meaning like what, like a verbal attack or something? Some sort of verbal battery? some shit like weird fucking shit.
Yeah, that would have to be it, like some endangerment of a child or some stupid.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
20% of Americans of African descent have only been here for 1 to 2 generations. I agree. These foreigners are messing with our true Americans. Yeah, I've always said that the true Black Americans are what I call slave wave.
Yeah. And what do we talk? And he's referencing the camera person, right?
Yeah, the guy behind the camera in Minnesota.
Okay.
Stirring
stirring
the
the-
pot without justification. Too many cooks in the kitchen, I say.
Well, no. Here's the shame of it. Dial it up. Like, you're right. The first part, stirring the pot without justification. Here's the problem. Again, this goes back to the mentality, is that the justification that they have doing that is this. They think that they're doing the better, the greater good. You understand what I'm saying? That's their justification. It's
Right.
ridiculous. It's wrong. It's not justified. But that is their mentality. And that's the sad part about it, is that they believe they're justified for that type of commentary.
You know, I was thinking of the other day, like where we've, again, with like illegal immigration and things that even the transgender things, like where, like, can you think of a scenario where because of grace, we've allowed something that we knew inherently was wrong to take place, and it didn't completely snowball into something horrible?
What was the first part? I heard everything from the grace part.
So like something that we know that's wrong, and you can even say not necessarily, but we can even say a small sin that we knew that was wrong,
Okay.
or something that
Like a law break too, a sin, or like a break.
Yeah,
break
like-
of a law. Okay.
like you and I have discussed, and
Mm.
I can identify with your empathy for it. Like
I'm kind of getting where you're going now. Okay.
taking
So
taking in refugees because they're in a bad spot, or you can even take the huge one of taking in slaves. Everybody knew it was wrong, but they're like, well, we need it, and then it blew up into a huge war. Immigration, we said, well, we need a little bit of it. It blew up into a huge thing. We need, equal rights for the gays, and then that blew up into a huge thing. Like it doesn't. I don't know why we keep doing it to where we accept a small sin, and then it doesn't just blow up into something ridiculous.
yeah.
Because we feel
Yeah.
bad for the individuals involved.
Yeah. If you really do want me to pull that clip up, I can get on my my tablet and call, and then just call into the show and I can play it.
All right, I'm down. I'm down cold. Why was the slave trade closed on Saturdays? Does anybody know?
Is it church? Some sort of a church?
I assume it's a joke. I'm just
Oh,
waiting.
I know. I know. I was being that guy. I was trying to play trying to play straight man.
Because
Yeah.
it's
What's up, Cold?
because the traders were practicing Sabbath.
Yeah, that's where I swear to God, I thought it was something religious.
Yeah. Jews can't go outside on Saturday.
Yeah. What's up, Chess Gaming?
Oh, sweet.
Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're jumping in. I appreciate that. Subscribe, I would really love, but well, I don't want to push you. You know what I mean? You can also join the Discord. That's pinned in the comments as well. So welcome aboard, pal. But yeah, again, I think everybody. But I'm sorry, what we saying? I forgot we were talking about.
We were talking about
Grace.
inviting in a small sin for the benefit of the individuals involved in it, not just completely blowing up into a catastrophe.
Yeah. So you're asking me what do I think that would work? What could we do?
No, I'm just saying, can you think of a scenario where
Yeah.
we've made an exception to the rules that God has laid out for us, and it didn't it didn't pan out very well, like, or that it ended up being,
I know.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like we give grace and it comes back to bite us in the ass in layman's terms.
Right, exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to go biblical on you guys. I don't like when I pull out scripture. But you know what? I'd have to think about it. I don't man, I
Well, and that, to me, that's like another good, strong piece of, because again, a lot of what I use for justification of the Bible being real is real life situation, and it happens over and over again throughout stories of the Bible into the New Testament and things beyond is if you start going counter to what's prescribed in the Bible, it goes absolutely terrible every single time. Go ahead.
Well, let me put the Bible aside for a minute. If I put the Bible aside, then I would say then I would have to say almost like, okay, if they repent, we forgive them. They pay a penalty, and unfortunately, I'm not saying eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth always, because again, that's Old Testament, and
that reminds me of something else I wanted to ask.
It's not very. We would have a lot of we would have a lot of people with one eyes walking around. Or like you'd see, like no, every Sunday, you know what I'm saying? You'd see people limping out of church, fucking missing eyes. It would be, you know what I mean? It would be a hell of a thrift store.
I identify with those people.
Yeah. But I think that maybe, let's say, something to do with like maybe finding people mental health help rather than throwing them in jail. If that was the diagnosis, would that be maybe a good example? I'm just thinking of anything. I'm
just saying, like even take that into account where we've actually given mental health legs.
Yeah, I'm basically saying bring back the crazy house, quote unquote.
Yeah,
I think I really am. Bring back the sanitariums is what I guess I'm saying in code. Wow, I am a piece of shit.
Well, that is the thing that needs to be done, because again, we did try to be like empathetic to people who manifested mental problems, and those people got put aside and other people took advantage of it, and now we have crazy homeless people all over the place. And in Congress.
Where do you think each party would stand, Rex, if we did make look, okay, so let's play a scenario here. So, and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to say, like, okay, let's say the left, or let's say more of the Democrats, we'll call it even, wants you to scoop them up and get them mental health care, right? Now, again, I'm not saying the right wants you to fucking shoot them, you know what I'm saying? But like, the right, I don't even know if the right's position would be like, jail them or whatever. But either way, I think both parties should agree that we need to help the mentally ill. Okay, perfect. So how do we do that? We need to build facilities in the cities to house these people and get them the help they need, right? Okay.
That is the pragmatic way to do it, yes.
Right. Okay. So I guarantee you somebody would have a problem with it. Yeah. Like it would be. So who got rid of like the crazy houses, we'll call them, you know what I'm saying? In back in the day, was it like what political party or what type of person didn't want that to exist?
Well, it was the Democrats that started closing them in liberal states. But the fact is that when a problem arises, typically, and again, it's not always the case, but typically the right will look for the pragmatic fix. The left will look for the profitable fix, and it's not even profitable in money, it's profitable in power. They look at the situation, they say, okay, what position can we take that'll gain us the most power? Because that's why you find all of these clips of the left going from one side way on the left of one issue all the way to the other side, because they take the position that gives them power. The classic example is how they dealt with blacks. Originally, they were the ones who were, controlling them in power as far as slavery goes. And then they saw an avenue where they could be like, well, if we give them a bunch of free stuff, they'll vote for us and give us more power. We see it with the clips of Barack and Hillary talking about illegal immigration 20 years ago. And all of a sudden they flip to the other side because they see power in
it. Yeah. And I would love to, be able to like push back, but I mean, the facts are the facts, that it is this power grab, and that goes down that even to as of today, as we speak, the whole, voting issues, voter ID, you know what I mean? The whole thing is a power grab. Because if you you claim to have an empathetic heart, and that's why you don't want the voter ID, but that's very contradictory, because what you're doing is you're not being empathetic. You're actually being mean and saying lower class people, black people, Hispanic people can't get IDs. They don't have computers, that they don't have, the opportunities, not in life. Let's bring it down to the micro, in getting an ID. If I granted you, there's plights that they're dealing with every day, all day long, for every other thing. You can't sell to me that they can't find a way to get ID if it's that important for them to vote. And if it's important for them to vote, that's look good. You're a part of your society. Kudos to you, but there are some steps.
And I don't understand why there's not this huge uproar for John Thune to be ousted as the Speaker of or the head of the Senate, like, because how you feel about the filibuster, is I can understand both sides, but the fact that the Republicans don't feel the vast majority of Republicans in the Senate don't feel the huge problem coming when the Democrats take over the Senate, because they will pull the filibuster. And it's not like the filibuster is part of any law. It's a granted rule of anything that's not budget related in the Senate. You know what I mean? So because the filibuster doesn't apply to anything that has to do with finance, budget bills and things or whatever can be passed with a simple majority. So that's why I think even the package that the House passed, they tried to put in the SAVE Act into the budget reconciliation or whatever, to send to the Senate to try to get it passed. But like, if at least the SAVE Act is not passed and we lose the Senate, the Senate will even if for the next 2 years, if the Senate does have a majority in the Democrats, they won't pull the filibuster, because they know it would be absolutely useless with Trump in charge, because he'll just veto it and it won't go anywhere. But it will die the second a Democrat becomes president, for sure.
Yeah. And and something scary. I think the latest poll, I think it was like 40%, 47% of Democrats lean towards socialism, something of that nature.
Yeah,
and that means even these lifelong Democrats that that you had some sort of respect for them, because they stayed true and true to a real democratic
right.
party. Unlike the Schumers and those guys. But it really does say a lot about the where the Democrats want to hang their hat.
Well, appeal to power. That's all it is.
Well, again, that's what. Yeah. But it's a shame, because it shows that how disingenuous they really are. You know what? Again, don't get me wrong. I agree with everything I said. But the last part, I don't even know if I can I was going to make a point of them being disingenuous, but you know what? They can mask it as, well, we're just doing what our constituents want. You know what I mean? So I won't go down that road, but it's very scary to me. Again, especially you're muddying the waters, as I said, on all of these different issues. And what I mean by that in this one is that you're going so in, like, socialism. Like, what happened to just maybe more taxes for the rich? So you gotta go live and die on that hill. That's been your fucking thing. Like, you know what I mean? It seems to cull a lot of your democratic wants. But you kind of know my point, Rexy, how I'm like making that, like, why do you gotta go like, what's next? Communism?
Because they have more power that way,
right? And it pairs with the
No, I know why, but that's all I'm saying. I understand why. I just don't get it.
Right. Well, because it has to do with the trend of the constituency. Like, that's because if you look at the other kids that, and by the way, I think it's awesome that your older kids got a driver's license, but there's a huge majority, not a majority, but a plurality of kids who are of driving age that don't want a driver's license. They live at home, and it's all, I know you hate it when I say it, but it's all part of a matriarchal type wanting to live that way. They don't value independence and freedom like we do. They would much rather have somebody take care of them, which is why it's becoming so prevalent.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's funny. I think like the youngest generation or whatever, like is coming up now. They're finally starting to feel the effects of the two generations prior. You know what I mean? The millennials and the Gen Zs.
Yeah.
They're starting. This new generation is really starting to feel just how bad it is and how crazy it is. You know, they're just not at a point yet where they can actually do anything. Like I think our daughters get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they also
it comes from the home.
they also lived through, and probably one of the most traumatic things ever was how COVID affected their ability to live.
Without a doubt.
And they have that inborn fear of the government because of it.
I don't know if this. I don't know if my daughter like knew this as a government type of thing, but what you said, you're 100% right. I had personal experience, and it's adorable. Well, not to anybody but me, but it was the first time that my daughter like used like a word that I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you're allowed to say that or not yet," like type of deal. She was like, "This freaking N." Was the N word I was going with? Now she goes, she's like, she was really just upset that. I think it was something like the truth. I think that they closed like the baseball field or something, like, you know what I mean? And we wanted to go play and we couldn't. And she just, and she was freaked out because, she was doing homeschooling, over the internet. I don't know. She's like, I just can't. This sucks. She yelled like, "This sucks." And like, I was remember like, whoa, it was like her first little meltdown. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was because of that, well, they really felt that stress.
Well, that's the thing is like the kids of our, the generation of our kids got hurt really bad by COVID, but conversely, the Gen Zs and millennials got a lot of benefits from it. They got to stay home. They got paid. They didn't have to. They got a lot of their.
They got checks sent to them.
Yeah, they got checks, but they also got their housing paid for them. They got relief from
grace and relief from your bills. Oh, it's okay. You're 60 days late. No penalties.
Right. And your college, the loans and whatever. So they benefited from this sort of bubble of socialism that we had during COVID. And then the other generation, the youngest one, got the boot for it. So
and it did become to a point that it didn't matter. Like you can go to the store and like you whatever. I don't care if you're buying a fucking, whatever, a gallon of milk. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, $2.50, and you put down $1, and you're just like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry." Like COVID and stuff, Like, and the guy's like, "Yeah, all right, go ahead, buddy, take the milk." And it's like, what? Hold on. Like, you couldn't. What? It became the excuse for everything.
Yeah, it was like that episode of The Office or whatever, where what was the temp's name? Do you remember? Ryan. Yeah. He was trying to explain to Kelly or whatever why he wanted to break up, and he just goes, I just don't think we're gonna, I don't think we're good matches, and I don't think I ever processed 9/11 properly. It's like,
yeah, right, yeah,
out of fucking nowhere,
Yeah, exactly. So again, I think that does come into play. Again, I think that there were some really good points on that.
Yeah.
You want to bring up Dial Up and read him? See if you
sure. Yeah. Jeff Bezos could share half, keep $30 billion annually, divide the rest between every worker, would equal maybe $300K for a person who works a warehouse job for decades. Do you think they'd still be working there if they did that? They would quit, and then the whole company would die. And again, you're looking at money and wealth as a fixed pie. It's not. It can be generated and distributed in an item as long as there's people that are motivated by capitalism to innovate. That's the problem with socialism, is that there are two ways to motivate people. There's the carrot and the stick. Capitalism is the carrot. Socialism is the stick. So
Yeah.
You know, you do not get innovation. You do not get prosperity or even efficiency with socialism. You just don't. You know, so like if you were to take a scenario where you had a group of people working towards something, like even if you take like like a football team or whatever, there are two ways to motivate them. You can encourage them, you could get them to work out, and individually they would probably do better, or you can beat the fuck out of them, and hopefully, you know, the game improves. Capitalism is the only form that we know of, and again, if you come up with a third option, that would be great. You'd probably win some kind of a prize for it. That we know that gives the carrot to people who are motivated, efficient, and coming up with new different ways to do things. That doesn't happen with socialism. And even with socialism, if it was going to work, you need to have a group of people who care about each other. You need to have some kind of homogenous sort of cultural equity between everybody that's there. And you need to have hardworking, self motivated people to do that. We've never had a less amount of that right now. So
that's exactly the tag that I was going to do. You know, you in society, for as long as we've existed, I think that, you know, we have had that drive and that, and you know, just inherently put in us, you know what I mean? But the great point you made is, though, specifically in these last couple of generations. Now, again, I'm not saying in the hippie generation they weren't slackers. Maybe but my point is, we're at a point right now that there's this higher percentage of that generational that is now trickled down to a horrible percentage, you know, of people that are just lazy and they've just pushed away what's the norm is so odd now.
Yeah.
And if you're against it, you're actually considered a racist or a tyrant or whatever. You know what I mean?
The way I look at people like Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg and Elon Musk or whatever, you can't look at them as individuals hoarding money. The best way to look at them are savings account with incredibly high interest rates, because they are going to die. And once they've died, all of that income and investment and money and monetary wealth that they've created gets dispersed immediately. So you can either, you know, save money here and there or whatever, but what they're doing is they're creating.
What do you mean that gets dispersed?
Okay, so Jeff Bezos makes at the end of his life, say he's worth $2.4 trillion or whatever.
Yeah.
He dies. Where does all that money go? Where does all that wealth?
To you know, the whatever, isn't there like a death tax? And then there's also, like, I guess, whoever inherited.
My point is that all of the money that man has generated, and it's not like it's been gathered or whatever. It's been generated. It's a well of wealth that's created in our country. Gets generated, and it creates. He makes money on the money that he makes, and it just grows and grows and grows, and then he dies, and then it gets dispersed. It's not like you have
dispersed to who, Rex? Though I'm asking, like his family and stuff. When you asked me, and I didn't know.
It goes back into society. He again.
Okay.
It goes into taxes. It goes into paying this for that. He's probably got a bunch of, you know, foundations and things that get dispersed or whatever. You know, because that's the beauty of a capitalist system, is that everybody has the opportunity to generate wealth, not just collect wealth. It doesn't get, it's not like Howard Hughes's money is still with one person that Howard Hughes knows. It's not the Rockefellers that still have all their money. It's not like the Vanderbilts still have all their money. It gets generated, they die, and it gets spread out. That's just the way.
I had no idea of any of that. I was the first I'm understanding of that. And again, my ignorance, I don't know economics and.
Well, it just makes sense. So I mean, like, you know, look, your grandmother, the fucking curmudgeon or whatever, she's worth, you know, $500,000 or whatever. What happens when she dies? It just gets spread out to the family, and then it goes out into the economy.
Oh, okay.
You know I mean?
I get it. Yeah. Okay, I get that. You want to bring up Charlie and then dial up, because I think they're making some good points back and forth to each other.
I agree with the profit sharing dial, but if a company loses money, can they recoup their losses from the workers? And I'm only speaking.
Wait, hold on. Answer that, Rex. That first part.
I agree with profit sharing dial, but if a company loses money, can they recoup the losses from their workers? Of course they can. You know, and the fact of the matter is that money that's generated by the top part of the company usually gets reinvested into the company because of tax.
Can you bring that back up, Jen, so we can finish the? Thank you.
And I'm only speaking of mid to small companies because once it's implemented, then all companies are
in it.
Okay.
And then what was Dal's response? Okay.
We should not necessarily legislate the issue, but we accept poverty, $25K a year to be a warehouse worker. Monetary slave isn't freedom. But my point is that they're working there under their own free will.
Right.
There obviously is a market for people to work there.
And again, sometimes and I'm not, look, the shame of it is, but I've been there. Sometimes you need to work that warehouse job for 25 grand, and then you got to slut yourself out in the street like I did. You know what I'm saying? $100 for every BJ. You know what I mean? It's
sure.
The things you do when you're in college. No, but kidding. Good night, everybody. No, but what you got to do is you probably have to get a second job. I understand that's not the idea, the ideal lifestyle that you want to live. I don't want to see you doing that at 55 years old. You know my point. But with that being said, sometimes maybe you should have made better choices in your life. And that again comes back to taking some responsibility, as I wanted Iran to do for their problem. I the situations that I'm in and have been in throughout my life, I can blame everybody in the world for it, but it's not being honest. It's not being genuine. I'm the one that put myself in the positions that I'm in, for better and for worse.
Well, again, that he's saying it's piss poor luck. They don't choose to work. Of course they do. Of course. What are you talking about? You don't have to work for. Is there some kind of a law that you have to work for Amazon? If you don't like the economy where you live, move somewhere else and work somewhere else. That's the thing. And it is also very important for people to know their role in life. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to dig a ditch, you got to dig a ditch. You have to know where you're at and take advantage of the things that you have to work with.
No, right. But again, the only thing I have to, and again, I'm sorry. I know you didn't man me. I don't like when you're like, oh, you have to know your role in life. Well, I think it's a little more nuanced than that in regards to it doesn't mean you're stuck in that role.
Absolutely
it means
not.
that as a man, it doesn't define you. It is not your role. That's the problem. It's not. It's what you need to do at that moment to get yourself better. And if you consider it your role, and I'm not being a jerk here, Rex, but like those are little things that bother me I don't want to label that a role, because that's not who you are. Okay. It's where you are at that situation. And
right.
And my point is, as a man, you need to.
It's who you are in time and space. But my point
is at that time. But you were very broad with the role, and I think that's very. I don't think it's accurate. Is because it's not your role in life. It's what you need to do at that moment. Your role in life is to be the best you could possibly be.
My point is you need to have an accountability of who you are, when you are, and what your abilities are, and take advantage of those abilities and push them in the right direction.
Right. And my point was what you said, and we both agree this exact same point. But my issue is how you communicated it with just in that way is very it's muddied. You understand what I'm saying? It takes away from the main point that you're trying to make, in my opinion. So that's all I was saying.
So Tyler says digging ditches pays double though. Yeah, so go dig ditches.
Again, you need to, it goes back to doing whatever you need to do as a man. Dial up. You know what I'm saying? If digging ditches gets the job done, and it's going to be different for everybody. Geographically is gonna come into place. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Rex can do a hell of a lot better on a hell of a lot less money than I could where I am. Unfortunately, he gets it both. You know what I'm saying? Like he makes great money, and his area that he lives in is possibly a little bit more affordable than my overpriced shitty area, and I don't make as much money type of deal. You know what I mean? So
You know what I found amazing is the minimum wage in the state that I live in, the minimum wage that I used to live in your state now is only $1 difference. That blew my mind. That because again, when I lived in Florida, like the minimum wage was garbage, but now it's only $1 less than where I live. That's just I know it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
no, my whole point was like, I'm just making this up. A 2-bedroom apartment, whatever. Maybe a $450,000 house here, you may be able to get 10 times nicer in Rex's area for $280,000 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it you know, we
and maybe not in your area specific, by the way.
No, but I mean, the state for sure is insane. But I mean, you know, like my area would be sort of like
rural.
Yeah, I was gonna say it would be like Winter Park in Florida. You know what I mean? It's certainly different. I just happen to be adjacent to a lot of people who have a lot of money, so that it certainly helps.
Right.
Yeah. So again, but it's also me recognizing the situation that I have here. And what was the last thing that or what is the that Mel Gillingham? What did that say? Dial up ambition should drive you to better places. Careers aren't static. If they are, you're stagnant. I got it. Yeah, it's true.
It is true.
The biggest problem, this is Charlie. The biggest problem is that kids aren't taught the importance of education. Instead, they do identity crap, and that will get them nowhere in life. Kids need to hear no. And again, I would sort of education has a sort of a nuanced connotation to it because I don't think it necessarily is higher education. I've told my daughter, I said, you know, I would much rather pay for you to start a business or to take an internship or do something like that much more than I would rather do college. But learning a craft, learning skills, and actually continually learning through your life is absolutely important. You're right.
And let me go deeper to forget the education part of it. You just said, you know, they need to be taught. So let's bring it back to the home where when we were younger, you know, you were taught you wanted to be a policeman, a fireman, an astronaut, the president. A baseball player was when you like, if you were really good at sports. The crazy part was, I want to be a baseball player, I want to be a basketball player, football player, sports athlete. Then, I want to be a singer and an entertainer. Or then you want to get really great, I want to be an actor. Okay, now, and your parents would be real with you. Like, all right, look, you ain't gonna make it in baseball, kid. You know what I'm saying? You never hit a curve. You never will hit the curve. Okay, now, and I meant that you, Rex. So
I cannot hit a curve to save my life.
I know you told the story. A little callback. But nowadays you have little Johnny that thinks he's the best, World of Warcraft player, and his mother's buying him the top dollar computer, the top dollar gaming chair, and leaning into this kid is hoping and dreams. He's not that good. No. I'm not saying don't support your kids when they're good at something, but you need to think of the future and guide your kids. Parents aren't doing that anymore.
Right. And again, it is incumbent upon the parents to identify and amplify the kids' sellable qualities. And I don't mean, you know, a TikTok influencer or whatever, but like you can definitely tell what your kid is good at and what your kid is not good at. Now, you can't just open, like, you know, our daughter is an amazing artist, you know what I mean? And I've told her, I said, you know, continue with this, you know, whatever. But, you know, she is well aware of the fact that it's not a marketable thing as it is now. And it'll probably become less and less marketable the more and more AI drives up. And
that doesn't mean she can't make it. You know what I mean? Right.
But she has the knowledge that, you know, it's probably not going to be her success in life, at least as far as money goes. And it's important, you know, to amplify their good qualities and suppress the ones that, ultimately it'll never be your choice. It'll always be theirs. But, you should always try to point them in the right direction.
Yep. And I'm a little hypocrite. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Fine. I was just going to.
Yeah, and again, when I was when I was younger and I got into music and things, I will be the first to admit, my parents saw like, holy fuck, like he's actually good. Like they actually, oh my god, like wait, what? They have like 100 people at their show. Wait, what? 100 people at their show? Wait, what? Yeah. They recognized that I did have a shot at something that was very, very, hard to accomplish. And they supported me above and beyond where I think a parent should almost at some point. You know what I mean? They were very, very encouraging and supportive. And I ended up getting a record deal and things that, went wonderful for me. With that being said, you know what I mean? At the time didn't have any plan Bs, and it thankfully some things worked out for me, but you really gotta, it's very tough. So my point is that the digging the ditch, making the 25 grand, in a warehouse job, we got to be allowed to have them, and people need to be able to take them, and they need to be able to sometimes have two jobs to build more than just how much money you have. It builds character. It makes you want more, and it will make you more successful, I believe, in the long run.
And to your point, your success in the music industry was because you didn't have a plan B. The fact is that if you are going to try for something that is, again, beyond the normal 9-to-5 kind of a job, you can't have a plan B, because you will fall back on it and you will not take the steps needed to accomplish whatever. Now, again, it's a huge risk, huge reward, huge fail, if it doesn't work out. But that was exactly why you had such a success in the music industry, is because you didn't have a plan B.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, by the way, when he says success and I say success about me, it's all, what's the word? Not mark. What's the word where you put it? In
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're not fucking delusional. But yeah, and a lot of good chatting.
It did finance the first 30 years of your adult life.
Yeah. Yeah. For the most part. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, that's true. But again, but there were times where that end of it, I had to do other things to fill the gap. For example, like benefits and shit like that. When you're an artist and you have BMI, you have acid, like you are in, you can get benefits, but not when you want to have children. You know what I'm saying? Not like it was. I wasn't this. Anyway, point is, like you have to do other things to try to, you got to man the fuck up, and again, I'm sure there were times in my life I didn't do the right thing. So
yeah, well, I mean, I've said many times that whatever Veronic's finally showing up. Thanks for showing up. Jesus Christ. I know you were spending 10 hours playing 2v2 or whatever the fuck you were playing.
Your eyes must be bleeding.
I don't know how the hell you do that. But my success has always been find rich people, find out what want rich people to want to pay for, and provide that product. Footer would find rich people and ask them if they wanted to watch them masturbate. Again, one is much more profitable than the other. You can decide which one, but
all true. You want to pull up some of these guys towards the end of the show here? See what they have to say. Go ahead.
I'm a residential construction worker. I'm not affected.
Well, good for you. I had a major record deal. What are we fucking bragging? I set you up. Go ahead, Rexy.
But I'd like my neighbors to have more money for remodels. That's true.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can't fault you for that. You know what? Good business plan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just
stop breaking window. You start damaging your neighbor's house and blaming the fucking crowd of ends.
Yeah, then you can just use the insurance part of it. I have a fair boss. I get 20 to 35% of the labor. I don't deserve half. Oh, so you don't run it. You work in residential construction, which I did for a while, and I have a lot of respect for people who do it.
I did it. I dabbled myself for a couple of years.
Yeah.
What was the other the new person?
Yeah,
here?
scroll up for Mel. He or she had wrote something earlier.
Yeah, I'm relying on Jen doing it.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to do it.
Oh, we should. She is the producer. Oh, the outsourcing one. Yeah.
Well, no, but we can all do it. Go on.
Outsourcing to China, et cetera, was driven by federal
See how I
taxation.
stuck up for you, by the way, Jen? Sorry. Go ahead.
There are hard classifications that are uncomfortable. I would say federal taxation and unions too did it.
Wait, what is that? What is that? Can you pull that back up? I'm sorry, Jen. I just want to make sure I'm understanding because I talked over Rex and then he went through it.
Oh, outsourcing to China, et cetera, was driven by federal taxation, not wages. There are hard classifications that are uncomfortable, labor and entrepreneur. Basically,
so what's the fix there then? That we don't we again, what's the fix there though? What it happened? Okay, it was outsourcing to China was driven by federal taxation. Okay, so what do? We lower the taxes. That's what I thought we were trying to get done, right, Mel, or no?
Yeah, well, I think he's kind of agreeing with it. I don't think he's just saying that it's not a labor cost; it's federal taxation. And again, I would say it's probably a little bit of both. But again, I would say that unions played a big role, because that's what started the outflow of our big industries for sure. Was the cost of our labor in those industries.
And again, it makes me also I always question is that if we really wanted the best for our country, right, we would try to find that happy medium. Again, I know, I'm not asking for a fucking utopia here, but you know my point. If the unions had to bend, right, because it's going to benefit our country and not outsource our manufacturing, why the fuck wouldn't they do that? You know what I'm saying? Is it because of strictly business? The rich were still getting richer in the unions regardless, type of deal?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they don't have competition, and they've sort of muscled out any competition, especially when it comes to, again, big manufacturing unions. I don't think that there should be unions in government work. There needs to be a much easier way for business to be capitaled. And
what's saying right there is exactly, I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, you're 100% right. The unions did have a place when workers were being treated quite unfairly. Now I think that they are more. I didn't read the rest of it, but it's fine.
But here's the problem too: is Rexy, like, and here we are again, part of a generational thing and a society thing where we stand is, guess what? It'll now everybody's gonna say they're being somehow oppressed or being treated wrong, and that's gonna becomes, well, I didn't get a full hour lunch and sushi on Fridays. I wasn't able to have casual Fridays, so I'm being treated unfairly, and that's the problem. Is that it like we've moved this bar of what being treated unfairly is, okay, and we've used, again, we'll go back to the same thing. We've done it under the guise of empathy and trying to protect people. You understand what I'm saying? But do you see now how it is now snowballed?
For sure. And I think that monopoly laws and trust laws need to be looked at again, because Footer and I have talked about it. Like 90% of all hotels and motels are owned by 3 different companies. Not like if like on Valentine's Day, if you go get a Whitman sampler heart thing for your woman, like Whitman's and I don't know, there's 3 or 4 of them that are sort of all similar. They're all owned by the same company. If you buy plants and seeds from those catalogs that you get every spring, they're all owned by the same company because,
the Jews.
Yeah, of course. So those kind of things fly under whatever laws that we have now. And that's why every hotel looks the same. So many things that you go to. And again, even like hardware stores are all owned by Ace. You don't get the local hardware store. It's like you gotta,
and now they want the government to own them instead of the countries. That's insane. Right. That's really fucking nuts.
And they try to say, well, because we're going to cut the cost of middle and upper management because it's going to be confined into one, so it's going to make a lower price for the for the consumer. And yeah, that's fine until everybody gets run out and then the prices go up.
Well, again, exactly. Are we like Jesus? We really are a bunch of drug addicts. You want the quick fix, and again, it may be nice for a generation. Let's say we just an entire socialism, and under the guise of empathy, we go, look at this. Wow, people are living pretty damn good. Look at this, and then when it all crumbles, and you're pretty much half dead, so it doesn't matter to you anymore. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to do somewhat of a sustainable process of government. You know what I'm saying? Something long term. You know, so again, you know, you do have to. You know, there are some ebbs and flows, and you do need to bob and weave and change your, you know, little. Again, I keep going back to the word nuance, but there's some nuanced things that you need to consider. When legislating things or you know, setting things up. But do you not see what happens when you don't start capping some shit every once in a while?
Yeah.
You know? All right, you got a lot said in chat here. You want to bring
up VG, and then when I was working deli at Walmart, I saw people being able to get away with things others couldn't, either based on favoritism and even likely fear of being called racist in some issues. Well, it's because you're a white person and you hate all black people. For VG. That's the problem there.
Well, so, again, it seems like a reasonable response from Rex.
Well, again, I've gotten to know VG, and he's just an outright blatant racist.
Wow, bro, don't do that. Allegedly,
he's not. It was just
okay. He's kidding, by the way. He's not.
Who are you like? What authority are you appealing to when I say that?
Who, me?
Yeah,
me?
Why do you feel like you need to be the whole on something like that?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't feel it. I don't know, like getting sued later by Veronix in some weird way. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Sorry.
What do you think is
looking out for our best interest?
Joey Veronix? Like anybody knows what I'm talking about?
Okay.
All right.
God. Sorry, fucking looking out. I'm not trying to be the whole. Again, maybe I was. I'm sorry. I was trying to fucking stop a multi-million-dollar lawsuit.
Well, again, you got to remember that VG is a fucking psychopath, and anything I can say to him is not going to hurt his feelings in the least.
No, but actions. Never mind.
I mean, you may show up to my house with a gun, but that's fine.
Well, only because you got allegedly one.
I have
rifle,
two
a rifle that you can legally have as a hunting rifle.
Yeah,
you only probably kill a jackrabbit at the most. Okay, pull up the next one. Sorry.
All right, so yeah, let's read Mel's one there. Trades are the future. Boom. I'm out, Charlie. Yeah, you're 100% right. Everyone has targeted white collar specialties and left trades to the birds. And again, I think it's going to be the white collars that are going to go away with AI, because a lot of those
break that down for me. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, just basically that trades, you know, things that can't be done by AI are going to be the high dollar payouts in the future for sure.
Okay, I can see your electricians, your builders, contractors, things. Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
You know, and I've mentioned it in the past, and I'm still waiting for a reason why it wouldn't work. But I've talked about the married mother income rather than universal basic income, because my thought is that, you know, there is a social monetary value for mothers to stay home, married mothers to stay home and raise their kids. It's a societal benefit, and they should be paid to do so. And if AI is going to eliminate part of the workforce, I think we should bring mothers home to raise their kids. So I had actually looked up some numbers. What's that?
I just figured out why I'm the whole.
Oh, okay.
And no, even related to exactly what you're saying in context. Everything you said, I 100% agree with. Then innately, my head comes in with, I want to preface, I agree, and not because you know, the women aren't capable, but you know what? I realize why I'm like this. Hold on, it's not because you think, and be careful, but it's because of society today. You're so fucking sensitive. Same way you know what? I'm a victim. Same exact reason why I didn't want you to call Veronix a racist. I'm a fucking victim of you nut jobs. That's the problem. You got me so fucking worried that I can't live my fucking life. You know what? Oh, you're all dead. Don't make. You know what? No.
Dude, he's triggered.
Christian.
Yeah. The fucking I love VG.
But I'm triggered at myself. I triggered myself.
I said, you'd come to my house and go, VG is because the gun's too simple.
Yeah, of course.
But going back to my, because I want to get this out of media assets, but I was talking about the married mother income thing that I have thought of. But they say that AI will probably remove, and you can actually bring that up, the AI worker thing, or whatever. Yeah. That the core projection is it's going to be 6 to 14% of the workforce will be erased by AI. That's sort of like what they're thinking it's going to be. And conveniently enough, guess what percentage is married mothers? Bring up the next slide. 13 to 14% of the total workforce are married mothers.
So that's a positive thing for much
if
less.
Right. If AI wipes out 14% and 14% are married mothers, bring them home, pay them for being moms as they should be already, and boom, everybody's happy.
And you know what? Here's one thing that I'll say about when was that, like some sort of a recent report, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Here's why I'm worried about a little bit of like that type of media, like the message. I don't know if I believe it 100% because what are you going to tell me AI isn't smart enough now to be replacing these jobs or haven't been yet? Like, how much more advanced is it going to be? I see, and I'm not talking about AI that can make a cute little thumbnail. I'm talking as far as, major industries that are using AI. So I think it might be a little bit of this with like doomsday type of mentality. No,
and perhaps that it is. My point is that if the left wants to make the argument that it's going to release, we should have universal basic income, that would be my conservative rebuttal. Would be like, okay, I agree, we're going to lose some of the workforce. Let's pay mothers. Oh yeah, by the way, through their husband's salary to stay home. So, and
that's
again,
first of all, that's a big thing that good thing that you made that thing. So it's not like they're getting this free check.
Right. It's a married mother that gets paid through the husband's salary. And, historically, every innovation has actually created more jobs than it's taken. It's just been shifted to something else. What did VG say? Why can't we lower the cost of living, increase wages in certain fields? There was a time a single working member of the household, usually the man, could raise an entire family on a single income. Well, a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've gotten so efficient that prices have come down, and it's sort of been that way. But yeah, I would like to obviously push back, and we should be able to do that. Hopefully with AI.
Well, do you want me to? Okay. Again, the common theme. You know why that can't happen? Let me ask you this: what's the biggest difference between the generations that are now trying to survive and the generations that you spoke of when you were able to have a single family household and survive and have the nice things and have the quote unquote American dream? Tell me what the main difference is. You can't tell me because you're.
My answer would be material things.
Yeah, standard
vacations
of living
and standard of living
would be my thing.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one. But what's the main difference though is exactly what we talked about earlier.
The Jews.
Correct. Good night, everybody. No, it's it's the fact that those generations, okay, were willing to work their asses off. Were willing to work 3 jobs, 2 jobs to accomplish the American dream. That father was coming home after working his 12 hours, and don't get me wrong, overwhelmed, filled with anxiety, probably slapping a wife around, being a shitty dad to his kids. So don't get me wrong, there were some negatives, but I think that is part of it.
What's
negative?
What was negative?
Yeah. Or should I just say comes home and keeps them in line? But my point is though, you see, like that's a major difference, right? I mean, Rex, wouldn't you say that might even be the number one difference that would probably contribute to why?
Right, and also there are a lot of costs that we apply now that we're considered to be, and I'm not even talking about like because housing is higher or cars are higher, things, whatever, but like things that we take as things that we need to survive or things that are part of our payout every month, we consider them to be necessities. And some of them are even beyond our control, like cell phone, cable, streaming, internet, car insurance, house insurance, like a lot of things that are now mandatory. You could actually be like, well, I'm just not going to do this. I'm not going to do that until I can actually save a little money, then whatever. But the things that we pay out for now is a lot higher than it ever was before, for sure.
Yeah.
On things that we didn't have to back then.
For sure. I think that definitely does contribute to it. As far as the necessity ones, and I think about and it also comes to, again, because I want to keep pushing the generation. Correct. Good night, everybody. Now, pushing back to the same thing of the fact that the generations now expect more. They can't go to the local shore for a weekend on summer and that be their summer vacation. They need to be on the beaches of fucking Morocco. You understand what I'm saying? And here's again, let me continue to intertwine this and be consistent. And guess why they need that? They need that because of their 4,000 Instagram followers that they need to appease. Okay, why? Because they don't feel normal without getting the external validation from followers. Do you see the chain that I've created? It can all be intertwined, and it's a shame. It's a shame. So the answer to that question of why we can't have the one person household, that's all connected to why we can't. From a societal perspective, forget cost of living. You know what I'm saying? Again, you're right with cost of living, but just the reasons why are the problem.
Veronica, you're scaring the hell out of me when you say the government should be providing. Don't. The government has no money, so if the government's providing it, you're just paying it, and you're giving them a bucket of water with a hole in it. Don't say the government should be providing.
Well,
I understand this. You can bring it up if you want.
I was say put it in context, because I don't know if that's what he's saying.
He's saying if something is mandatory, like insurance, the government should be providing insurance at a bare minimum baseline, and then any further insurance should have to be purchased from a company.
Okay, perfect. Okay, look, this is a great example of, I think what you said is wonderful. I think it would be a great idea. I unfortunately have not seen, and again, Veronica, this goes to what we talked about earlier with certain generations. You don't have the prescription for it. You don't have a working model to base it off of, unless you scale it down and you tell me, well, Footer, it worked. And don't bring me outside of the country, because our country is very unique. Okay. It's not some homogenized country of 3 million people. Okay. Or 8 million people. This is a very, very unique country that we can't always implement certain things that would be wonderful to do. Now, if there's a model to go by, and let's pick a state model, would you consider Massachusetts their healthcare? Because don't they have the universal healthcare type of deal in Massachusetts?
I don't know.
Oh, again, I'm just saying, you know better than insurance stuff than I do. You know what I'm saying? I know Florida. I know Florida has like kids get free healthcare.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know how it is in Montana. I don't know how it is around the world. But if there is a model of a small scaled, thing that would work, I'd be open to listening to it. But I haven't seen it. But again, I know what you're saying, Veronix.
Yeah.
The point is, you don't have a prescription for it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is the reason that the government is so bad at providing a quality product, and it's not even just the government, it's what Milton Friedman always called the third payer problem. You're having other people spend other people's money on other people. So like there are controlling factors of something that you're going to want to buy. You want to have something that's good quality. You want to have something at the least amount of price. So if you have other people spending other people's money on other people, they don't care about the quality or the price. So
right. And again, that's not
be bad.
You're 100% right, but that's not even what we're dealing with. Like that's the answer as far as the quality and why the quality is the way it is, right? But here's my thing is, okay, well, what was it, Jason, right? Yeah, what did he say? Yeah, we got Jason Beaches, we got mass health, it's ghetto. So again, if everybody is, there you go. Jason did the right thing and laid out a model for us, and then he gave his opinion on it. If everybody's comfortable with having healthcare by state, and it being ghetto, then there you go. Then there's your then you're good. Then maybe you should have that implemented in your state. I'm not really for that personally.
Yeah, Charlie brings up a great point. He says, I shouldn't have to pay property taxes because I don't officially own it yet. And even when you do, it says the bank doesn't, so they should pay as owner of the property. I don't think there should be property taxes at all. That's insane. It's insane to think that you don't really ever own your property. You're just renting it. It's fucking retarded.
Especially when you've paid your home off.
Right.
That's the part that, again, not that I'm saying, because technically, when your home is not paid off, sure, it's yours, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's a, again, it's not so gray area, but let's just call it a gray area for argument's sake. But when you pay if your home is paid off, you're donezo. Now I'm a maniac in the middle of the woods. Leave me alone. I'll pay for the shit that I need from you. That's that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it becomes like where you should be dictating to the government how you utilize them. You know what I'm saying? They offer a bunch of stuff. It's a la carte. What do I need? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Veronix is being a bitch. He wants me to read his clarification. What I am saying is that no state should be allowed to, by law, force citizens to have to buy insurance, then by law increase the minimum coverage that forces companies to raise rates. This happened in NYC.
No, in North Carolina, NC.
Is there a difference?
Well, let me see. I'm trying to think about what you said there. Well, I agree with that, but that didn't sound really like what you said earlier. You know what I'm saying? So that is a little different. At least I interpret it a little different.
And again, but, I Veronix, I'm giving you shit, but I do agree. I do agree with you, but that shouldn't be the case. But unfortunately, there is no bill of part of the Bill of Rights or anything sort of like a pre-existing law that says that states can't do that. So even though it's completely unfair, it shouldn't happen. I 100% agree. If you vote the people in that vote that and make that law, it is what it is, and unfortunately, it's just how it is.
Yeah. No, okay, good. Yes, huge difference. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. But anyway, yeah, fruitful conversations tonight, guys. I think it went good. And again, it was just a hang. It was more of kind of get a feel of this time to do a show. To be honest with you, so happy you guys came. Don't know if it's really a home run. With that being said, thanks guys for coming and checking us out. Veronica Gaming, Charlie, Dan. Who else did we have in there earlier? We had a couple of new
Snuffles, Paparazzotti.
Yep, Snuffles, Papa Rizzats. Who else, Jen? Who were some of the new ones? Charlie. Who else?
Charlie's been there. Mel's new.
Yeah, Mel. Yep, thanks, Mel. And there's a couple other new ones. Jason Beaches.
No, Jason's been there too.
Yeah,
Tommy Flippers,
Tommy Flippers was in there early.
Stop. Anyway, yeah, I you guys did a good job, and thanks to Rex and Jen for giving up their Friday night. Thanks to me for giving up mine. I'm gonna go grab some food with Deb, and we're gonna go have a little fun tonight. We're gonna have some good food. Don't know what yet.
Bustin' Justin 45 came in at the early time.
Shut up! Stop making up names. Takes away from our lovely real chat people. Anyway, all right. Good night, everybody. God bless you all. See you Sunday.
Listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, or wherever you hear us. Come on over to Rumble. Like, subscribe wherever you're at. Hit the notification bell if you have that option. Also, on all of our services. Go to the Discord, join us. We're a load of fun. I know the show isn't a really good representation of it, but actually off air, we're a hoot. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, that whole Charlie said, but driving is a privilege, and so that's a requirement. That again, that's always a weird thing too. That whole it's semantics, in my opinion. You know, right, Rexy? Like a privilege or right? They use it against you when to their benefit for sure.
Yeah, well, privilege is advantage, but has like an undeserving connotation to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. Oh, you know what, Charlie? I'm sorry. Yeah, you were talking about the 9/11, the Pentagon video. You want? Okay. You know what? Maybe you want to pull that. You know what? It would bring a lot of chat. You know what I mean? A lot of chatter. Maybe we'll do something like that, Rex. Not Sunday, but maybe next week sometime. Maybe we want to go into some conspiracies. Maybe pull a few.
Sure. 9/11's topical.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's the thing. It kind of does. It may not be topical, but it definitely feeds into a trend, just the whole conspiracy thing.
Sure.
Again, maybe not. Fuck Charlie, maybe. I don't know.
Whoa.
Kidding, Charlie. We love you. We love you.
I mean, unless you have time, Charlie.
Yeah. You're going to top or bottom?
I don't know. Jen hoards herself out to everybody in chat, so what's another one?
You know what? I decided that we don't do that anymore. Now, if anything, we go biblical terms. She's sometimes she's a harlot in chat, is what we say.
She's a harlot in the vet, I'll tell you that.
Hey, easy there, big fella. Oh, it's after 8 o'clock on a Friday. Rex likes to let loose everybody.
Sorry.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Do you have hot dogs?
Somebody cooking soup?
By the way, my prostate's better, everybody. Good night. No one even asked.